The night began like any typical episode of The Late Show with Stephen Colbert. Laughter echoed through the studio, the band played its familiar jazzy tune, and the atmosphere was electric with anticipation. The audience was especially excited. For the evening's guest, Jamie Foxx, a Hollywood powerhouse known not only for his Oscar-winning acting, but also for his incredible musical talent, humor, and quick wit. Colbert introduced him with flair, praising his versatility and charisma. And as Jamie took the stage, the crowd erupted in applause. They exchanged a warm handshake, sat down, and dived into conversation with the usual charm and ease. Everything seemed on track for another lighthearted, memorable segment. But as the conversation gradually steered into deeper waters, the dynamic between host and guest began to shift. Asterisk at first, the two traded stories about Jamie's latest film project. In his return to music, Colbert asked about the challenges of balancing multiple careers. Jamie responded with his trademark blend of sincerity and humor. But things took a serious turn when Colbert began discussing the role of celebrities in today's polarized political climate. Jamie Colbert asked, "With everything going on, social issues, politics, division, do you think entertainers like you have a responsibility to take a stand publicly?" Jamie gave a diplomatic answer at first, saying he believed in standing for truth and justice, but also emphasized the importance of uplifting people through his work rather than being overtly political. Colbert, however, pressed further, asking if silence could be interpreted as complicity in today's world. That's when the energy in the room started to shift. Jamie leaned forward slightly, his tone more measured now. "Let me ask you something, Stephen," he said. "Since when did entertainers become politicians? I understand influence, I understand platform, but just because I sing or act doesn't mean I have to shout every opinion from the rooftop." Colbert nodded, appearing to understand, but replied with a sharp, "But doesn't your silence on certain matters say more than words ever could?" Jamie paused, visibly processing. "I'm not silent," he replied. "I just don't perform my convictions on demand." The audience's reaction was mixed. Some clapped, others sat in thoughtful silence. It was clear this wasn't going to be a standard fluff interview anymore. The conversation escalated subtly, but significantly. Colbert referenced a past moment when Jamie had chosen not to comment publicly on a particularly charged political event. "Some felt your silence then was disappointing," Colbert said. Jamie's face tightened. "And some people need to stop expecting performers to be their moral compass," he retorted. "I've walked through fire in this business. Lived both the struggle and the spotlight. Just because I don't post a hashtag doesn't mean I don't care." The audience applauded, louder this time. Colbert smiled tightly, perhaps realizing he was pushing too far, but still leaned into his role as interviewer. "So you're saying entertainers shouldn't be obligated to speak on public issues?" he asked. Jamie leaned back in his chair and said coolly, "I'm saying obligation kills authenticity." The tension continued building. Jamie's body language became more guarded, while Colbert maintained his curious but challenging posture. They briefly returned to lighter topics. Jamie's upcoming comedy tour and a funny story from a film set, but the earlier tension lingered in the air. Then Colbert posed a question that became the tipping point. "Do you think your reluctance to take hard stances has hurt your credibility among younger fans who look up to you?" The question hung in the air a moment too long. Jamie's eyes narrowed, and he spoke slowly. "You mean the same credibility that got me to this couch? The one that got me a Grammy, an Oscar, and kept me working for 3 decades?" He chuckled. But there was no humor in it. "Let me tell you something. My credibility comes from my work, my honesty, and the people I uplift off camera. I don't need to perform wokeness for clout." Colbert tried to clarify, saying he didn't mean to undermine Jamie's career, only to explore the expectations placed on modern celebrities. But Jamie wasn't buying it. "No, you're doing that thing where you ask the innocent question that's loaded like a shotgun," he snapped. The audience murmured, unsure how to react. Colbert's smile faded. "I respect you, man," he said. "I just want to understand." Jamie removed his microphone, slowly and deliberately, and set it on the table. "And I respect you too," he replied. But I didn't come here to be dissected like some social experiment. I came here to talk about art, creativity, and passion, not to defend my humanity. Asterisk. The audience gasped lightly. Colbert sat stunned as Jamie stood up. Sometimes, Jamie said, when the vibe isn't right, you don't fix it, you exit it. He turned, waved politely to the crowd, and walked off stage. The studio was dead silent. No applause, no music, no cue from the band. Just an awkward, stunned hush as Colbert stared at the empty seat. After a moment, he turned back to the camera and offered a dry chuckle. Well, that was unexpected, he muttered, before cutting to commercial. Asterisk, the clip went viral within the hour. Social media exploded with reactions. Hashtags like hashtag Jamie Foxx walks out and hashtag Colbert Clash trended globally. Opinions were divided. Some praised Jamie for standing up for himself and rejecting what they saw as media baiting. Others believed he had overreacted, calling his walk-off dramatic. Late-night fans, celebrity commentators, and news pundits debated every word, every look, every breath from the interview. Some accused Colbert of being disrespectful. Others defended his line of questioning as part of a talk show host's duty. But almost everyone agreed on one thing. The moment was real, raw, and unforgettable. Asterisk in the days that followed. Neither Jamie nor Colbert issued any formal statement. Jamie returned to promoting his film, attending premieres, and engaging with fans, but he refused to answer any media questions about the interview. Instead, he posted a single line on his Instagram, "Sometimes silence is the loudest answer." The post received millions of likes and was widely shared. Colbert addressed the situation lightly on his next show, joking, "Well, I learned you don't ask a jazz man to dance to your tune," but quickly moved on to other topics. Avoiding a deeper discussion, asterisk the moment sparked a broader conversation. It's about celebrity interviews and the blurred lines between personal expression and public performance. Media analysts wrote op-eds about the pressures placed on entertainers to speak on every issue, while cultural commentators debated whether Colbert had crossed a line or simply done his job. Younger audiences, especially, resonated with Jamie's refusal to be boxed in, with many saying they felt the same way, expected to have public opinions on everything, all the time, without room for nuance or personal boundaries. Asterisk the incident didn't hurt Jamie's career. In fact, it seemed to enhance his image as a thoughtful, grounded artist who doesn't play to the crowd. Ticket sales for his upcoming tours surged. His film opened strong at the box office, and in interviews that followed, other celebrities praised him, calling his walk-off a masterclass in self-respect. Meanwhile, Colbert continued his show, but viewers noted a subtle change in how he approached his guests, especially entertainers. A bit more caution, a bit more space for them to express without being cornered. Asterisk months later, fans still referenced the moment as a cultural touchstone. It became a meme, a lesson, a viral template. "Don't ask me to perform, I'm Jamie Foxx" became a catchphrase online, symbolizing the demand for authenticity over obligation. It wasn't just about one interview gone wrong. It was about the freedom to define your own narrative, even on someone else's stage. And in that sense, Jamie didn't just walk off, he walked forward. Asterisk in a world where every moment is recorded, scrutinized and weaponized, walking away with your dignity intact might be the most powerful move of all. Jamie Foxx, with grace and fire, reminded everyone that strength isn't just in the words you say, but in the silences you choose, and the exits you make on your own terms.